What is up, guys? We are back at it again. Today we're actually going to be removing the convertible top off the Spyder. We're going to be removing it that way. If you guys ever need to in the future, you guys can follow this quote-unquote step by step. If I miss a few steps, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to do my best and get it as detailed as possible. Okay, so yeah, let's go. All right, so as I mentioned previously, the convertible top has seen better days. You guys can see this, obviously it's basically almost falling off. And then on the other side, it actually looks fairly identical. It looks pretty much the same way. You guys can see this just hanging down. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to remove this top, because you know it looks like crap. Sure, maybe it can be fixed, but I'm not too worried about it, just because I do have another top that I ended up getting, which is, it looks to be in better condition than this one here. So yeah, I want to remove this guy, and I want to install the other one obviously in a different video, or I don't know, I'm gonna keep you guys guessing. But the whole point of this video is pretty much to show you guys how to remove the convertible top off of a second generation Spyder, whether it's GST, or you converted it to all-wheel drive like this one. Whatever the case might be, yeah, you guys might want to follow this guide as a reference on how to remove the top. Okay, if I missed a few steps, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try to do my best to include almost everything that I can. That way you guys won't get super mixed up as far as, you know, what to do. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and start with the back. What I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna remove one particular cover in the back area. So I'm gonna pop the trunk, and then after I pop the trunk, I'm gonna remove that back cover. I'll show you guys in a second. And also there's a switch that you can put the top, you know, from manual to automatic, being the motor will actually be controlling it. But we don't want that. We want to set it to manual. That way we're able to control the convertible and move it to our liking in order for us to get to certain screws and whatnot. Okay, so let's go ahead and start that. Let's go ahead and pop this trunk, and then yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so the cover that I'm talking to you guys about is actually this guy back here. Okay, and then we're gonna have to remove the cover right here to access the bulbs for the tail light, the driver's side to be specific. The switch that I'm talking to you guys about actually lives behind over here in this area. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both of those things, remove it, and then I'll be back. Just have to be careful with these. There's some clips in here that hold it. They're kind of brittle, they're plastic. So just be careful with that when you're popping it out. And that's pretty much it. I did remove the cover for the spare wheel, just FYI. And then you can remove this and then just put it in a safe place where it won't get damaged. Now what we're gonna do is pop this cover here, pop it out, and as you guys can see here, hopefully you guys are able to see it. Here's the switch I'm telling you, I'm actually talking to you guys about. Okay, so this is the switch. What we want to do is set it to manual. There it is, and that way we can control the convertible top to our liking as far as folding it goes and whatnot. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start taking off these trims here. This guy here, okay, and then this back trim. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver to start removing those, and we're going to set those to the side. Okay? All right. And then don't forget about the other two pieces on the sides as well. Okay, you got to be very gentle with the pieces on the sides. For now, we're going to put the screws in this piece right here. And then you just pop this guy out. It might help to kind of swing the door just a little bit. So if you need to put your finger in here underneath, you can do so. So this one's done. And then I'm actually gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. Like I said, you want to be really gentle with these. There you go. And you'll feel it. You definitely don't want to use too much force, because these, you know, these can break, or they can actually bend. They can bend, and you know, DSM parts over the years are not, you know, very common anymore like they used to. So yeah. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we are gonna unhook the little hooks underneath here. We're gonna unhook the convertible top so we can free it on both sides. Okay, right here, and then on the other side as well. Okay. Okay, and good thing is we have it set to manual. So now if you guys want to, you guys can actually, with a little bit of force, lift it up. You don't have to struggle. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is tackling all these Phillips head screws to remove this little plate that actually holds the top. So we're going to start with this, with the top halfways up. Okay, you can roll the windows down, the back windows, if you like. I'm gonna leave them up for now. If I need to, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so let's get to it. It kind of helps if you have a drill, power drill. That way you won't get tired, you know. That's the last one there. So now this should be kind of free to remove, kind of. Okay. Okay. See what I mean by kind of? There's actually a staple stuck on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and free it up and I'll be back. So what it is actually there's some adhesive. Your case might be different. It might have it, might not, but this one did. So yeah, it just had this stuck onto the plate here. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna set this plate to the side along with the screws. Every single screw you remove, make sure you place it with the part that you remove. Okay, that way there's no mix-up of which one goes where and whatnot. Okay, there's also two Phillips screws I'm gonna start removing, and that's for this here. If you actually have this underneath, it would be wise to take it off. It makes life a little bit easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this by starting by taking off. There's two Phillips screw heads on each side, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll go to the next step. These are the guys I'm talking about. Okay, and like I said, don't lose these screws, because later on you're gonna be chasing your tail. Oh, where does it go? One tip I can give you guys is you can actually screw it back on just slightly. That way you won't forget where it goes. Okay, I'm gonna do that here. All right, so I'm gonna be removing this. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera or not. Hopefully you guys are able to see. Are you guys able to see through the convertible top? You can see through the top, so you know this top has not been sealing. It definitely has seen way better days. So yeah, that's the main reason why I want to take it off, because this top is no longer good. I don't even know what's up with this adhesive, but anyways, you pretty much peel this stuff back, okay, and then it kind of falls down a little bit. The reason it fell is because this ram here, I guess that's what they call it, rams, this doesn't have a bracket that is supported. It's supposed to support it up here, but anyways, it's not a big deal. What I'm gonna start doing is, you see on these rams how it has these little clips right here. I'm gonna start prying them, and that's actually gonna free up the top from these rams. You're gonna have a few of them throughout the top. So yeah, just something for you guys to be aware about. All right, so what I'm gonna start doing is actually start prying and work my way from one side all the way to the other. Once you get it a little bit free, sometimes you can actually even do it by hand. And as you guys can see, you guys can kind of do it slightly, but yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of persuasion to get it to give, but it's going, you see, so it's going. And like I mentioned, this ram is loose. Yours is actually gonna be most likely attached to the car some way, somehow, to the frame here of the convertible. But this one, for some reason, it was like that when I bought the car. Not a big deal, at least I don't think so, because like I mentioned, I already have a top and that I'm gonna be using for this car, and the top is actually yeah, in fairly good condition. So yeah, anyways, I'm not too bothered by it. So we got this one done. There is another one following right after. Just start feeling around, and it's gonna be the same procedure. So you can kind of feel there's another one right next to it right here. You guys can see it. So I'm gonna start working on that one as well, okay? And I'll be back once I get that one done, okay? Okay, so that's the second one. Now we need another one, and that's gonna be this guy here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that one, and I'll be back. All right, so I had to put on my mask just because, depending on your condition, on your top's condition, sometimes obviously these things can grow mold, especially if the water is already going through. Yeah, and it's not good for you. So I ended up putting on a mask. I suggest you guys might want to do that, just to keep you guys a little bit more sane, more safe. Okay. All right, so I'm back at it again. I'm gonna start working on this ram again, and then yeah, I'll be back. For the last one, second to last one, I'm actually gonna bring the top down just a little bit because it's easier for me to actually access it. But yeah, just keep in mind, wear your mask. Wear a mask if you need to, especially if the top is trash, okay? There you go. Okay, and now what you're gonna do is remove. This actually has a lot of Velcro around here, around the window inside. So what we're gonna do is start pulling that stuff off, just separating it. Okay, all right, and then in the back area, there's actually they kind of feel like buttons, if you will. I don't know if you guys can see this here. So they feel like buttons. What you're gonna want to do is separate that from the string there, some way, somehow. You're probably gonna have to stick like a screwdriver in between, like a flathead. You see that there? So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pop these guys out here, and also on the other end back here. Hopefully you guys are able to see it a little bit, and if you guys can't, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna pop these guys out, and then I'll be back. All right, so now we got 2 Phillips screws to remove. That's part of this, the inside cover. And what you want to do is get the one that's right here on this side. Whoops. Oh, come on. Yeah, make sure you have it to loosen up, otherwise you'll strip it out of it. There we go. All right, so we got this one, and then we're gonna work on the other side. The other side actually lives back here. Can you guys see it? It's back here in this area. Okay, so I'm gonna start removing this one. Oh, it's kind of tight. Remember, if your top has never been removed before, you might struggle with it. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this off camera. Okay, so my mistake. I ended up stripping it. It's very difficult to remove. I'll probably end up getting this off, but for now I just ended up cutting it. Nevertheless, I mean, this portion right here is not going to go back in the car, so I'm not too worried about it. So what you can do is put the top down a little bit if it makes it easier for you. You don't necessarily have to, but once you have everything removed, honestly, you should be able to free it up. Look, there's actually one more of those little button style that I probably missed here. Okay, and I wouldn't doubt if there's another one here on the other side. So there is. Here on the other side there's another one. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this guy out there, and then there's actually one more screw I forgot. And it lives right here, but on the other side. Okay, okay, so I got that off, and remember to put the screw just slightly in, that way you won't forget where it goes. Slightly. Okay, once you have all that done, you can bring the top a little bit more down, and then we can start tossing this to the side, this little inside cover. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side, and I'll be back. Alright, so now what we're going to start doing is undoing this here, the top. There's some adhesive underneath, so you kind of have to work it to lift. But yeah, there should be some adhesive from factory. Let me see. I'm going to keep working on it here. Sometimes you might even have to remove the weather stripping that's on the sides here. You might have to do that. Okay, in this case it doesn't look like it. I mean, hopefully I don't speak too soon before I say that I need my own words, but we'll see right now. because it does have a staple right there, and that's the thing that I'm kind of, I don't know, it doesn't, no, it doesn't. Okay, so like that, start lifting it, lifting it, lifting it, lifting it, lifting it, lifting it. Okay, and now what I'm actually gonna do is, I guess I am gonna have to take off the weather strip. And you know why? Because I'm gonna start removing it because it is in the way to peel this back. Same thing that we did here, we're actually gonna have to do that. So I'm gonna start taking off this weather strip, just very, very careful. Like I said, these parts don't come around very often. So here's the driver's side. I'm gonna start taking off the passenger side. Remember, mine has a staple, yours might not. So just something for you guys to be aware of. And it's not hard to remove. So there it is. That's the passenger side. Okay. Just put in a spot where you'll remember, and then we're gonna start going to town and peel this back as well. Okay. You guys can see it has some adhesive as well around this area here, just in this general area right here. So we have to peel this back. You can start by using maybe even a small flathead screwdriver, and then yeah, if you're gonna reuse the top, for some reason you're taking it off, just be very gentle with everything you remove. Okay, but honestly, I don't care about this top anymore. I really don't. So it doesn't really matter to me. Okay. Okay, some of this might stick onto the tape here, but that's not a big deal. I mean, you can always take this off and put new adhesive. So now what we're gonna do is since we got all three corners loose, we're gonna put the top down a little bit, slightly, and we're gonna start working our way back. Okay, one thing I want to show you guys, hopefully you guys are able to see it. So you see this here, this cable here leading up to here, there's a rivet. Yes, there's a rivet, so we have to drill that rivet out so it can pop out. Okay, and that's holding the top on both sides. Okay, so this rivet actually lives on both sides. There's two of these cables. I'm gonna actually bring the top up. That way we have slack here on the cable, as you guys can see here. That way this won't be, fighting you. This won't be fighting you. And once I do that, then you guys can see there's another screw here in the convertible frame. There's another screw here, and I wouldn't doubt it on the other side. Let's go ahead and check on the other side. And yeah, like I mentioned, so it's on the other side as well of the frame. So we have to remove those little screws. And then following after that, we're gonna start peeling this more back. So first things first, we're gonna work with these rivets, expose them, and then drill out the center. Yeah, drill out the center, and then we'll go from there. All right, so both Phillips head screws, I'm gonna start removing them on both sides. Take one off and just slightly screw it back in. That way you know where it goes. And I'm gonna work on the other side too. All right. Okay. Some of these might need a little bit of penetrating oil depending where you live. Okay. All right, so just screw it in slightly like that. And now, yeah, I'm gonna work with these rivets now. Okay, so I ended up improvising, and I say that because I tried to drill out these rivets. So I tried to drill out these rivets, and yeah, the drill bit actually broke on me. So anyways, I improvised, and I ended up just cutting the cable on both sides here and also on the other side. That way I can, you know, put the top back this way in this direction and just bring it back, you know, bring it back little by little. So now the next step after this, sorry, now the next step after this, it looks like there might be some more glue around here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll be back as soon as I find out for you guys. Okay, so now what you guys want to do is with the panel popper, you're gonna want to pop. They have these guys right here. You see that? These guys here. You're gonna have to want to pop these guys out because part of the top is glued underneath here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove both weather strips on both sides, with hopefully without damaging them, and then yeah, I'll be back. All right, so a good idea that my brother actually came up with is just so you won't lose or won't forget where they go, these moldings here, the weather stripping if you will, you might want to label them. You know, it makes life much easier for, you know, when it's time to install them. So now that we have all the moldings off, and especially the bottom ones here, what we're gonna do is do the same thing we did with the top, and that's just peel the convertible top back because there is adhesive here. So I'm gonna start peeling this off, this portion off, and then I'll be back to show you guys the other end of this cable, which leads to a spring. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, so what you guys want to do, just to make life easier, either you can start from the top or the bottom. I found it easier, at least on the other side, to start from the very bottom and start peeling kind of like an upwards motion, if you will. Okay, just like so. It might take a little bit of persuasion to get it off, but it's going, you know, it's going. Okay. Yeah, this glue is it's pretty stubborn. There you go. It's gone. Anyways, I'm gonna keep fighting with this and I'll be back. Okay, and the spring I'm talking to you guys about is this guy right here. And as you can see, you guys might want to use, I'm sorry about that, you guys might want to use some needle nose here to bend this and have it kind of like in a 90-degree angle. That way you can pull this off to the side. All right, so this is what I mean. So it has this shape here like a U. What you want to do is kind of bend this end here towards one direction so it looks kind of like a 90-degree, if you will. That way you can kind of pull this guy back if you need to. We did cut this cable up here, so we don't have to worry about this. If you guys end up saving this, then you might have to remove the ram, lift it up, you know, from the actual frame. But in this case, we don't have to. But this is just so you guys know. I'm gonna take this guy off the spring here if I can. Hopefully it's in a good angle. Just watch your fingers. Honestly, these things can be a little sharp on the ends. You just twist it like so, and then that's it, man. Nothing to it, honestly. It's not too bad. There. And then we're gonna work on the other side. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna use a panel popper. And this guy right here, this is on the driver's side, okay? Right over here, this is the guy we want to remove here. So we're gonna get this one out of the way. I believe on the passenger side, there should be 2 of these, if I remember correctly, okay? But you want to be gentle with these because most than likely you'll probably be reusing them, okay? So I'll be back once this is popped out. Okay, so as it turns out, there's actually another one, and it lives right in here. We ended up putting the top all the way down, and that way it's a little easier to work with this guy. So yeah, we're gonna be removing, besides the one that we just took off right now here, we're gonna work with the one down here, okay? Once I pop that guy out, then I'll be back. All right, so we got both of them, both of these little plastic tabs, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna peek all the way inside, and if I remember correctly, okay, hopefully you guys are able to see it. There's actually a hook, and the hook lives right in here. Can you guys see it? I'm actually touching it with the panel popper. It's right here, so you have to undo the hook. There's like it's holding on to like a plastic cover, or it's part of the top. It's just plastic, so you have to undo this here at the very bottom. It's just one hook, and then you're gonna have to do that on the other side as well, okay? So let me go ahead and remove that, and yeah, I'll be back. All right, we're working on the passenger side now, and it's the same thing, honestly. There's one right here, and there should be another one right underneath it. So I'm gonna work on this one here to remove it. There's the first one, and then let's see where the other one. Where's the other one? It's actually down here. Down here in this area, but oh yeah, you guys can see it a little bit. I'm gonna there we go. Let me bring my other panel popper. I'll be back. So we got both of them out, okay, on the passenger side, and the same thing's gonna apply. There's a small little hook that is right down below right here. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. So that right there, I have to undo it. It's just a small little hook, and then yeah, I'll be back. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually bring the top maybe halfway, maybe all the way back. I just don't know yet, depending on what we got to work with. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna focus. This thing's so annoying. This ram is so annoying. We need to find the proper things to center this ram once again back in the top, so we don't have to be moving the thing around. But so now we can kind of fold back the top a little bit more, you know. There might be some glue as well in this general area, so you can see, you can fold it back a little bit more. Let's see how much we can actually get. back a little bit more. And then what you guys can do is you see these from factory, they have some glue underneath the rams here. The top does. This is actually the case here, and I can feel it. There's some glue in here. You have to peel it off. Get a better angle over here so they can see. You see that? We have to peel this stuff off. Okay? And this is part of the convertible top. That's why I'm removing it. And just work your way from one side all the way to the other side. You know? I mean, it's not a big deal, but nevertheless, let me see. It does take time. This definitely takes time. Especially if the top has never been removed. It's the OEM top, which I don't know. I'm thinking that might be the case here. I think this top might be the original one, but I'm not 1000% sure. Just by looking at it, I mean, come on. This is a 96, so yeah, I'm pretty sure this might be the original one, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure. But just based on based on what we see, how the condition of the top, I wouldn't doubt it if this is the OEM top. And yeah, just keep fighting it. Fight it, eh? There we go. All right, so that's done. We can probably bring the entire top all the way down, just to see what else we got to work with. So let me actually go ahead and do that. Just make sure there's no obstructions when you go down. Make sure you're not hitting the window or whatnot, you know, because it doesn't have that molding in there anymore. There's actually adhesive right here. I probably missed a step, but there's actually adhesive right in here as well. The same thing we just did right now, you might want to do it in this portion, because in this area here, because it looks like that might be the case, but this one actually ripped together with this top. So anyways, let me take a peek at what else needs to be done, and then I'll be back. All right, so the next step I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna unscrew the very last ram, and that involves a T25 torque bits. There's 2 of them on each side, and they actually live in this area here. Let's see, can you guys see that? Right over here. So there's 1, 2, and same on the passenger side. Okay, so just so you guys know. So I ended up bringing the top back maybe halfway, and then, like I mentioned previously, I ended up removing both screws on each side for the last ram, and you guys can actually see it right here. Okay, but it is attached to the plastic, this plastic here. You have to remove these clips here, remove all of these here. Okay, there's a total of, I'm counting 4, could be 4 on the passenger side so far, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 as well on the driver's side. So you have to undo these clips. You're gonna have to get your panel popper, okay, and then underneath the panel popper, so this is the plastic that it's holding on to. You're gonna have to just feel, okay, feel around. There's 1 right here, there's gonna be 1 inside here for sure. You're just gonna have to feel around and pop them as you go along. So there's 1 right here, like I said, probably gonna be another one here. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back once I pop all of these. Don't forget about this little button strap, the little button here. So we have to undo this, you know, maybe with a flathead because they're kind of hard. But yeah, we'll be back as soon as all of that is taken off. Okay, so I popped the two inside that we were able to see, and now I'm starting to peel this back. The little plastic portion, just peel it back along with the clips. It might be a little difficult, but you can do it. It's not too bad. There, it even has like adhesive around there. Okay, and then this guy here. Okay, so the plastic portion, somewhat free, not completely, but it's there. And then I'm gonna work my way towards the passenger side here. Do the same thing. It might be a little difficult because there is that adhesive that you guys been seeing, but that's it for right here. There are some more clips that I'm seeing here behind. So there's one here in this area. Hopefully you guys are able to see it. There's one here. We're gonna get it with the panel popper. It's like, yeah, it lives right here, and the ram is kind of in the way. So anyways, and then there is another one back over here in this area, okay, that we can see, and another one back here in this area, okay, and there is one more. You guys, I'm sorry, but you guys are not able to see it, but I'll point you in that direction. I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but it's in here. There's two more. Okay, only assuming it's gonna apply to the other side as well, on the driver's side. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop those guys off and then see what happens. All right, so how many were there? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 on each side of these little plastic poppers. Okay, we ended up popping them out. Okay, so there were 5 of the little pop rivets. Sorry about the noise in the background. But now we're gonna try something because it looks pretty loose now. We're gonna try to see if we can bring this up, but we'll see. It's somewhat free, but I think I might be missing a few things underneath. Don't forget, there is for the defroster, you're gonna have to undo the defroster inside. That's something I definitely forgot to do, but I'm gonna do it now that I have access to it. You can actually get it from inside the car. It's much easier, but I forgot. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back. I ended up undoing the staples here at the ram, on both sides. Now what I actually want to do is I want to pull it back as far as I can, just to see what else I might need. And we ran into this here, this guy here. Come over here and come over here so you can show. So we ran into this guy here. We're gonna have to figure out a way either to pop this guy out, or if we can't pop it out, see if we can kind of force it out. I mean, like I said, this is not gonna stay in the car anymore, so I'm not really too worried about this one. But yeah, that's pretty much how you remove the top on a 2G DSM, whether it's the GS Spyder, GST, even GSX all-wheel drive Spyder. That's how you do it. Let me go ahead and cut that piece up so. So here's what I'm gonna do, just for now. Just for now. Okay. I know this is probably not the best thing to do, and some purists might get mad, but I can take that stuff off later. It's not a big deal. So yeah, let me show you guys. This is pretty much trash, and this is what the car should look like after you're done removing the convertible top. Okay, so anyways, installing it, obviously it's going to be somewhat of a reverse order, but at least you guys have a general idea of how or what it takes to remove the soft top on a 2G DSM Spyder. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.